Hey guys, it's Jack Castor and
Heather Castor
with BounceFit Studio, and we're here today to make a video to show you a review on the Bellicon and the Cellercise. Before we do that, we first want to say that we're not going to recommend one or the other to you because we believe that it's an unfair comparison to do a comparison between the two because they're totally different. And so that's why we're going to make this video today, right?
And why are they totally different? My son, engineering student who's graduating in 2 weeks, I just had to throw that in there, is very technical. And what are the reasons why we cannot compare the two? They're both rebounders.
Well, as a graduating materials scientist and engineer, I can tell you that the springs between both Bellicon and Cellercise are made of completely different materials. This one's elastic, this one's not. And so that yields different ways that the trampoline can give you results. And so we're not saying that they're going to give you bad results or better results, but just that they're different. So before we get into the technicals, let's do some history on why we switched over to Bellicon.
Okay, so I know many of you know my history. I hate to keep going into it over and over again, but I have a connective tissue disorder. I've had over 12 surgeries over my career, my lifetime, trying to fix my back. I have artificial discs in my neck and in my back. Artificial hip I just got done last year. And so I can breathe wrong, move wrong, throw a rib out. It's just the way my body works. And so I sought out a low impact way of exercising. And I found out Cellercise was my very first introduction to rebounding, and I fell in love with it, as you can see from our other videos. And we opened up a studio. We had 2 studios, 16 trampolines of Cellercise only, and I preached and preached and preached all about Cellercise. For a short amount of time, the UK did ask us to do boogie bounce classes for them. We said sure. So we did some. They were a lot of fun, choreography, dancing, high heart rate, that kind of thing. But that really took a toll on my body physically, and felt a lot of pain because that rebounder is a lot lesser grade than the Cellercise and didn't have the triple patented springs, and thus had way more impact that my body could tolerate, and many clients as well. So we put that to an end, stopped doing that, went back to our Cellercise. As the time progressed, I started kind of getting worse and worse, and I just thought it was me personally, not knowing really where to go next. So I joined a Facebook group that kept talking all about Bellicon, and I'm all about Cellercise, and I was conflicted and really confused, and I thought, how can I make a judgment if I don't try the Bellicon? I mean, I can't preach about something if I don't know or have experience with both. So I found my first Bellicon on a marketplace, Facebook, for a great deal, brand new, never used, didn't even try it, paid the money, brought it home. Right out the gate, fell in love with it just because it was so much softer and easier on my body, on how I responded to it. When I first started rebounding, my calves were super sore, my ankles were a little sore, and I was thinking to myself, is this right for me? Is what the Cellercise people say bad about Bellicon true? And I kept stretching and doing all the things I teach my clients to do, you know, foam rolling and really focusing on not pronating, which we'll get into in a little bit. But I found that was my body responding and getting stronger. So now, I just got back from having a massage, and then my massage lady says, your calves are so much stronger, there's so much more muscle mass. And I was like, really? And I'm feeling that way everywhere with less pain. So that is our background. I am an exercise corrective specialist, exercise personal trainer, over 20 years. Got into it because of my own ailments and just want to help people. So a lot of times people talk bad about the Bellicon because they say you pronate. If you pronate, the mat sinks down and you'll pronate even more. For some people that might be true. If you pronate and you're prone to doing that, you're going to do it walking. You're going to do it on whatever surface you're on until you learn how the pelvis and the feet and the ankles and the movement there can affect it, and learn how to keep your ankle in a neutral position while bouncing. So there are softer bungees that can go deeper, and they say that can promote more. And again, I'm prone to pronating,
So am I.
and so is my son. And I've had, like I said, the studio with 16 Cellercisers, and I've met a lot of people that pronate. They also pronate on the Cellercise. Doesn't matter the mat or the stiffness, you're going to pronate if you pronate, unless you take the steps it takes to learn about your posture, to realign where your knees are, where your ankles are, and do exercises to strengthen, to keep that from happening. So it's not the Bellicon makes you pronate. It's not.
Well, the Cellercise doesn't make you pronate.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I
can stand here on the floor and pronate just as much and learn how to pull it up, if you can see that, I don't know. But yeah, it doesn't matter the stiffness, you're gonna pronate.
Right.
Right.
So what are the things you like about Cellercise?
So we've been on the Bellicon for, I don't know, the past 2 months?
3 months?
Yeah. And so we pulled this back out to give it a try, and I got on it, and the first thing I notice is a quick change in my acceleration. So if we do a quick physics lesson real quick, if you're standing on the floor, you're applying 1 G force to your body. To calculate that, the force that the ground is putting on me is equal to my mass times the acceleration due to gravity, which is about 32 feet per second squared. So if I jump, ow, that hurts, right? A lot of impact. Because all that force that I'm putting into the floor has to travel back up through my body, increasing my G-force. Because I land, the floor has to stop me as soon as I land. And when I do that, I have a greater change in my velocity because I'm hitting 0 really quick. And so when I'm on the Cellercise here, I feel like the mat stops me quicker than the Bellicon does. And so because of that, I feel like I'm experiencing a quicker change in acceleration that increases the amount of force going through my joints. When I go over here to the Bellicon, I feel a lot smoother. I feel like the rubber bands are absorbing more of that impact and allowing me to travel at a further distance over that time period to get me at that 0 velocity, to hit me back up into the air. And so because of that, I feel less impact because it's just a simple physics question, the change in acceleration. So that's how I feel about the Cellercise. But I also like the Cellercise because I feel like I can do quick movements. I feel like I'm getting that pop. I feel like I'm getting a quick muscle contraction. Great for aerobics, great for quick movements. Jump squats. I prefer doing jump squats on there than on here.
Why?
Because actually it's a little easier because I don't have to balance as much and to wait for that change in velocity to hit to stabilize me. So I like the Cellercise for that reason because I feel like it's more like a BMW M3. You know, tight suspension, quick turning, fun, all that kind of stuff. But when I get on here, I'm like, yeah, I'm in the Rolls Royce, right? Nice and smooth, quiet, but I still feel great. So that's how I feel when I go from one to the other, from more of a technical side of it.
So, as you know, the bungees come in different strengths. We have one that's extra strong. This is strong that he's on, and it goes by your weight. So if we put the extra strong on, he is going to have a faster, tighter feel. I can't compare it exactly to the Cellercise because this is a spring. There's still a little more give and forgiveness to the joints on that one. But again, if you want to do faster movements, you just move up the bungees. For me, the difference here is I almost feel like I'm hitting the ground when I get to the bottom of the bounce on the Cellercise. I feel it in my joints more, I feel it in my hip. And when I'm jogging, I like to jog, get my knees up high, and when I land, I feel it right in my knee. Here, I can sink all the way down, get full contraction of my glutes, my hip flexors, everything's firing my core. I feel way better on the Bellicon because I'm not being jarred or stopped too soon. So I know I've heard David Hall talk about the pop back with the spring and that your lymphatic system needs that for the valves to move. I don't know if that's scientifically true or not, I still feel like I get that pop back, but it's just a lot more gentle. You can't deny the fact that we're still going up and down below the earth and taking advantage of the forces of gravity. Again, try to do a jump squat and stop. You see?
My knees popping.
Do it again.
Okay.
He's like me. So you can see it's hard to stop.
A little wobbly.
You're a little wobbly, but that makes your core fire more. Now, if I were to do jump squat and come here, it's more of an impact where I feel it right away in my back and my knees and my hips. So that is why I have changed my routine to doing Bellicon, because for me, I don't need fast pace. I don't need to do those fast movements anymore and move like that anymore. I have thyroid issues. I have obviously joint and back problems, so I don't need to exacerbate that. I'm 55. So for me, I'd rather be in a Rolls Royce and have the same benefits. I still feel like I've gotten lots of muscle mass. I still get a huge sweat without the stress of being breathless, without my heart rate going too high. And those are the reasons why I have chosen to use the Bellicon for myself. Our clients have come into the class and tried both. A lot of our clients have bought Cellercise from me, and some are probably a little upset. Honestly, I had no idea the difference. Again, it's a personal thing. It's up to you guys. We can't recommend one or the other. We're just telling you our personal experiences. At the end of the day, if you had one choice, what would you pick?
I would choose the Bellicon.
And so would I. Now, I am an affiliate for both Cellercise and Bellicon. So anybody who uses my link to buy one, we get a little kickback. So we should say that. But we're kind of putting it against each other. But we are both in agreement that rebounding is an amazing exercise, not only for your lymphatic system and fighting disease and staying healthy, but it is still low impact. So for me, my doctors say, okay, for me, I need no impact for my workouts. I need to be in a pool swimming, but there is no G-force, because the doctors also say you need to strengthen your muscles around your joints. So how do I swim with no G-force and strengthen my muscles around my joints swimming? I cannot, and I'm not a very good swimmer. So I choose the Bellicon, so I get the best of both worlds. I get the rebounding, I get the lower impact, and I have the ability to go at a slower rate if I want to. Again, people say it's about a toy, it's jumping high and bouncing, which you can do. Show how high you can bounce. It's really quite amazing. If I tried to do that, my knees would probably split in half on here. It's like you hit the ground. It's a hook, hook, hook. It's very hard.
For her.
For me. Now, again, it's specific for me.
That brings us to our conclusion here. You can only make a decision if you try one or the other, or actually both.
Yeah.
I would consider that a requirement before choosing whether you have a spring-based trampoline or a bungee-based trampoline. And of course, when picking between the two, we recommend the top of the line of both, which is this, not Rebound UK, not all the other ones. This, not Jump Sport, not the other ones. These
I
are the
have
ones,
tried Jump Sport, sorry.
Yeah. We had a person come over and bring over the Jump Sport when we were just getting into Bellicon to really see the difference. And guess what? There's a huge difference.
Night and day.
We can almost compare the Jump Sport to the feeling that we have in the Cellercise. So it's important to get good quality trampolines, because overall rebounding, like we said, should be an all-inclusive sport, independent of the trampoline you use. However, you shouldn't be using low-quality trampolines because they can still cause injury. So it's a really touchy subject, because there's bias for one and bias for the other. But like I said in the beginning, it's truly an unfair comparison between the two, because they're extremely different. And that all comes down to the material that's used for the spring, whether it's a rubber elastic spring or it's a metallic elastic spring. It's different. And so I feel like we've kind of, I don't know, I think we've shown how we feel about the two.
I do want to thank David Hall for bringing me into the rebounding group and teaching me all about it. That has changed my life, and I could well ever be grateful for that. You know what? Let's just try Jamba. on both and do a comparison so they can
Dave
see.
Hall's jumbo.
Okay, Dave Hall's
Okay.
jumbo. So he's pushing.
I feel my butt, feel the hamstrings, feel some quad. I get that core activated, staying tall, pushing left and right.
Now go a little deeper and push harder. And go slow and now press hard. So he can press very deep without hitting a dead end.
And I can still be mindful about my pronation. Because, of course, I can be here. That's bad. Pronation is bad. But if I'm mindful about it, I can bring the knees up, squeeze the toes, bring the arches up, and fix that issue.
So here, I feel like I'm hitting a dead end, and I feel it more in my joints than I do immediately through the muscle evenly and gently. Are the muscles going to start burning? Yes.
Yes. Are they working? Yeah,
Yes.
of course.
But if you're young and you don't have issues and the money is tight, then get the Cellercise. Again, I'm not supposed to say that. It's up to you. Try both. But let me show you
Right.
the jumbo over here.
But that's our point. It's different. It really depends on how you
So
feel.
I like pushing really hard into the mat. I don't know if you guys can see me, but I like to get deep, tuck my tail just a little bit, and I feel it way deeper in every muscle fiber, not just points. And then that's another way I like to do it, glute activation, is to push. So you can see how deep I can push. How you do this?
It's more responsive.
So he's going faster, but I'm going deeper and harder. So comment, leave us a message if you want. If you live near us, you want to try. I don't know.
Yeah. Find one near you. Go on Facebook. Say,
Yeah.
hey, there's rebounding pages. We know there's the Cellercise rebounding page. We know there's, what is it, jumping rocks? Jumping rocks?
Yeah, rebounding rocks.
Rebounding rocks. Go on there. Find people that are local to you and ask them if you can try out their trampoline. So, yeah, just remember, rebounding should be one sport.
Unity.
One thing.
One love.
One love. It shouldn't
No
be...
separation.
Yeah.
Ooh, you have a Cellercise.
Right.
Ooh, you have a Bellicon.
Exactly. And like we've said all this video, it comes down to personal preference, what feels good to you, what you feel gives you the best results, and makes you feel good at the end of the day. So that's our message here. Again, message, email, bouncefeetstudio.com to grab those links for Cellercise or Bellicon. And yeah, let us know if you have questions.
Yeah, and if you want some advice on how not to pronate and how to strengthen your kinetic chain to move properly, maybe we could do something online if you don't live near, and I can make a little program for you and teach you what to do.
One more thing. If you don't know us, Bounce Fit Studio, go to our YouTube channel, which is where you found this video, and go look at some more workouts. Again, those are all based on the Cellercise because that was before our Bellicon discovery. But it didn't mean that we didn't have fun or get good results or have good workouts. So check those out, and maybe we'll have a Bellicon workout for you in some point. Okay.
It's hard to make videos and upload and do that when he's so busy at school, but we will try.
All right. Is that it?
I think that's it. Thanks, guys.
Cool. Thanks.